In-ear monitors, the house checks have never really used in-ear monitors. Some groups swear by them. We're more of like a rock band. And when we perform, we'll often just take whatever microphones they have and the sound system there, and we try to sing into it and through it. But that's because we like to think of ourselves, and we do mostly original music, as opposed to a group that's more like a vocal group, and they want really clear tuning, and they have, like, it's a different kind of an energy and an aesthetic. Yeah. And we don't have a lot of choreography where everybody moves together, we just do our thing. But in-ear monitors work great, and when I created a group for Disneyland, they used in-ear monitors outside in the park because there was no room to put any wedges, and then they could perform on the grounds as people walked by, and there were mains that were blasting sound, but they needed direct signal. So it's a matter of what works best for you. If you do want to use in-ear monitors, I recommend you get them and you work with them in rehearsal a lot. It takes a month or something to really get used to them. And then people, once they get used to them, they swear by them. Also, you can have a stereo mix. And in the stereo mix, you can have 2 different mixes, like one ear and the other ear, but you can't have 9 different mixes, of course. So you have to kind of get used to one overall mix. I would say I think it depends on the song. If you want to take someone on a clear emotional journey, and it's a hard to sing song, it's very honest, it's very open. When you swap different soloists, it doesn't work so well. It's the rare pop song that works well with like 2 people and they're both tormented, unless they're singing to each other or something. So for that kind of a journey, it's good to have one person tell the story, really be there. And then they have a big responsibility. They need to actually own it. They can't just sound pretty. They need to go there. It needs to be difficult. You need to almost act the song and bring those emotions out for yourself. If it's a fun, silly song like the medley that you have, all these different things, then it is fun to have different people come out. And maybe a guy sings a Britney Spears line, you know, whatever people are out. Like, different things end up happening. So it really depends what you're trying to do, if that makes sense. And it's good to try a lot of stuff. But yeah, it can be a gimmick with lots of people singing a song. So I would use that only when you want that feeling of, you know. I have to tell you, I don't do warm-ups. My group, now this is the reason. It's really hard to get 9 people together, right? And you only have limited time. And if you spend 15, 20 minutes at the beginning of every rehearsal warming up, think about the number of hours you've lost of rehearsal per year. So what I always tell people in every group, I'm like, show up warmed up. If you need 2 minutes or no warm-up, fine. If you need an hour, do it on your way here in the subway. Or before the subway, maybe, you know. That way, people walk in the door, and I think if you can, you start right on time. And then you save your business for the last 5 minutes. You never start with talking business. If you start with business and you talk about making T-shirts at the beginning of the meeting, it'll be like, oh, you know, I like blue, but not that color blue. But if the meeting is at the end of the rehearsal, people will be like, okay, T-shirts, what color should it be? I don't know, I trust you, I gotta go. Right? And then things get done, because that's what matters. You know? Not everybody has to have an opinion about everything. Yes. That way your rehearsals will be music, 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 a little bit of business done. Yes. So as far as warming yourself up, there are tons of websites with ideas and stuff. I mean, you're not behind the Great Firewall of China here, so you can access the rest of the world and all the different ideas and suggestions and stuff. But I think a lot of groups, warm-ups are as much psychological as they are physical. If you've been talking all day, if you're coming to rehearsal at 7 p.m., you've been talking all day, unless you're singing really high soprano notes or you really need to, you know, get up above your break or basically really get down your voice, but you can do that in a couple minutes. But I definitely come from a different camp than like classical directors. Like, we need to all warm up together and, you know, perfect the blending. For me, I'm like, if there's a problem blending in the song, then let's run those 2 measures and practice exactly that. Because I'd rather have more songs on the repertoire. And the other thing is, this is big, after you learn a song up to a certain point, you need to get in front of an audience. A performance is more valuable than a rehearsal in a lot of cases. Plus, if you have a performance coming up, you're going to learn your music more quickly, right? Yeah. So in that sense, even if they're small things, it's you know, a party in the park or someone's birthday or something, you know, perform here, perform there, go outside and sing a little bit for people just for fun, like whatever it is, get in front of people and keep those little goals, and before you know it, you'll be a lot better. Because a lot of what you need to do, you can't do in here. You need to do it in front of people. And everybody will sing at their best when they're in performance, but it's rare that'll be the case in the rehearsal room. Yeah. Not really what you asked about warm-ups, but hopefully that